This one's called Bricks. It's a story I never really completed, but I just kind of expelled all my emotions into it. So I'm going to try to read it for you in the best way that I can. The walls of the brick building were damp and moss-covered, as if the ground was softly making its way up the sides to try and reach the sun at the top. It felt cool against my forehead. I wanted more than anything to push hard enough that I too could grow into the brick and make my way up top. I could only press so hard. Goddamn pain receptors. I heard once that a human finger is as easy to bite in half as a carrot, but our minds control our muscles enough that unless one was truly insane, they couldn't consciously press their jaw tightly enough to break it off. I wanted to defeat this. I wanted to push my entire body into those red squares and become a part of them all. The crown of my head was throbbing, and I could not tell whether it was the pressure of my own force or the frigid dew on my skin. I tried to pull away, but I was unable to move. Reaching my hand up to investigate, I realized my skin had morphed and spread into a single thin crack. Slugging my body towards the ground only tugged at my eyelids, but I did not panic, yet. I felt my knees buckle in search of the earth, but knew if I slid any further, my face would detach. I played with this thought in my head, how I would look without a face. Oh, what tantalizing options. I could shop for masks of all sorts, switch around my identity with my moods. I thought of those big red pouty lip-faced masks with bright green eyeshadow painted over clear plastic. I would be all red-faced, though. It might scare people off. That's not a bad thing, right? At least then they would be frightened from the start, and those brave enough to face a ghoulish exterior could brave the interior. The girl in the bricks might never get out. Look at this tough exterior and strength I portray. I argue with myself as the fear pulses through me. I can feel it in my torso like always. I put my right hand to my chest and I tap the rhythm of the pulse with my left. It sounds like the rhythm of one of my favorite jazz songs. It's a little upbeat, but it coincides with the circumstance. I tell myself how sometimes beats, sounds, breaths, and rhymes are meant to be fast. I like to imagine getting pounded. Maybe that's why I always dream about it. When I'm fucking with all my energy and putting my entire self into my body's expulsions, there is never a moment where I focus on the pulsing blood in my heart. The more my face melded into the cold brick wall, the more I realized how detached I was becoming. Pretty soon there would be nothing to my existence besides the existence I created within my mind. This was such an exhausting thought to someone so frightened of her own mind. Pretty soon, I knew there was no option but to detach my outward physical existence from my inward understanding. I'm always worried about the way people perceive me. From the way I rest my arms on my sides, to the way my face looks, to the way my face rests over my chest, I have these self-arguments all the time. Who cares? These people are just like you, and if they can't accept you for who you are, however sloppy and flawed you find yourself, then what does it matter? I even go as low sometimes as imagining myself as this low and sloth-like creature. I know other people like to call me beautiful, but it's never mattered, and it never will. There is always this desire to melt into the atmosphere around me, and to conform to the beautifying objectivity society has enveloped around me like a suffocating plastic encasement. I looked into a fluorescent shining mirror on the night I melded into the wall. It was one of those mirrors you find when you close your eyes, and I found myself in such a detached state, one I have only felt once in my life. It was when I had hurt someone so terribly I could barely identify with myself. He was so difficult to understand at first, which I believe was the culprit characteristic for the basis of my enticement. He had 12 old slices on his upper left thigh. I would trace my fingers over them when I was afraid, hoping I could find some trace source of strength in the semi-ancient scars. When I had a difficult time understanding the way we kissed so deeply, I would remember his scars. I would remember the pain that he put his soul and his body through. You always say the same things, and I hate you for it. Fuck this stupid fucking piece of shit fucking house. Fucking stupid house. Burn it. Burn it down. Blaze those beautiful carpets into the speckled chocolate floor because it will remain forever until they decide to recarpet. Slamming and slamming, and I want to slam your face into the wall as much as I want to slam my face into the wall when I am this angry. And there is never a balance, and there's only a room where either you meld into the walls, or you find yourself in the middle, alone and cold, or find a door and escape, and run, without any assurance of security, but void of closure, void of encasement, and void of regret.